Good evening, everyone. My name is Mang Thang, and today I will be presenting my book review on 90% of Everything by Rose George and how it's relevant to global transportation and business. This book really changed a lot about how I understood global change. Before I even read the book, I usually just saw shipping as part of logistics and just a little bit of, maritime trade and etc. But now I see it as really the foundation of the global economy. Almost everything we use moves by sea, and yet the system and the people behind it remain largely invisible. So firstly, one major insight from the book I found is the scale and efficiency of container shipping. Containerization allows goods to move across continents quickly and at a relatively low cost. This enables global sourcing, large-scale production, and competitive pricing. And from the business side, transportation is not really just a supporting mechanism, but it's a really key strategic driver of how companies operate globally. Um, but however, in the book, it shows that that efficiency comes with trade-offs. Low-cost shipping often depends on pressure placed on the labor, safety, and working conditions. Um, People faring around along the sea, they face long hours, isolation from other people, and limited recognition. This highlights a key important business challenge where these firms have to balance the cost efficiency along with ethical responsibility while trying to maintain long-term sustainability. Another key insight is the risk in global transportation. Shipping operates in uncertain environments, like there are things like piracy, security gaps, the weather, congested trade routes. Like the book mentions something with the Malacca Straits. And these risks show that global business decisions are shaped not only by cost and demand, but also by geopolitics, regulation, and just how they manage emergencies and etc. Strong operations, strong firms, they have good planning, coordination, and are really adaptable. Um, 90% of everything expands on the idea of sustainability. Shipping is efficient, but its scale creates environmental impacts such as emissions, underwater noise, and harm to the animals in the sea. This shows that businesses have to think beyond short-term efficiency, but also considering the environmental effects when they're trying to design these global supply chains, these trade routes, and all of that. Um, for our study abroad program in Paris, Toulouse, and Barcelona, it really just connects strongly to our study abroad experience, especially for me. During our study abroad program, I observed transportation systems, infrastructure, and logistics networks that all support global business. These systems were appeared to be efficient and well designed on the surface, and it seems like they all plan everything out and everything seems good on the outside. But for me, the book really added a deeper layer, deeper perspective by showing what happens kind of behind the scenes and that not everything is perfect and that these companies that we explored in our program, they will be going through some troubles, they will be going through some sustainability issues and how to balance things and how to do things, especially in the ports, shipping routes, labor conditions, and just how to manage the people and etc. And like for example, when we were in Barcelona, we studied transportation and logistics systems, and this helped me to understand how goods move through global networks. And in Paris and Toulouse, we saw how infrastructure and innovation supported this business strategy, has supported being mobile and all of that. And just overall, this book just reinforced that transportation is not just about movement, but also about people, just risk and sustainability. And it's really a lot more than we think. And just one final takeaway, like I guess my biggest takeaway is that people think global transportation is like a technical system and you have to do figure out all the know-hows, figure out all the little things, but it's really just about human business and environmental just management and just kind of just balancing those three and not just everything being technical and having to figure everything out. And like I believe the best global transportation and innovation companies are the ones that balance this efficiency with being responsible, managing risk, and recognizing and respecting the people who keep all of this global trade moving. So overall, this book really just gave me a much broader understanding of how the global economy functions. It showed that shipping is the key cornerstone of international business and that the decisions behind it are much deeper than we think, and it shapes both economic outcomes and the human experience. Thank you.